What's up guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be taking a look at reasons why you may be struggling to lose weight now that you've implemented some sort of plan or program and it just seems like it's not working. So if you guys haven't watched my first video, which I'll have here on the screen or link down below, I would recommend checking that one out first. That one was going to give you 6 tips to kind of start on your weight loss, fat loss journey. This video is going to be geared towards those that have started implementing those tips and are just having some issues figuring out why it's not working. First thing we're going to look at is the calorie deficit, right? So I spoke on calorie deficit in the last video and gave you some recommendations on how to go about finding that, and even referred you to the precision nutrition calculator that you can use to help you determine what that calorie deficit should be. One thing that tends to happen, and I talked about it a little bit in that last video, is that you create too large of a deficit and therefore your body will stop responding. Now this isn't going to happen right away. Usually what happens is no matter what calorie deficit you create, whether it be an average size or too much of a deficit, is that you're going to lose weight initially, right? Because you were jump starting a new program for your body to get used to, and your metabolic system is kind of ramping up now because it's getting less calories in than what it's used to having. And so you will lose weight initially. But what starts to happen over time is that that amount ends up being too steep and your body will go into panic mode, let's say. During this panic mode, we'll call it, what tends to happen is your body is going to start to look for a way to reserve energy, right? Because it thinks it's not getting enough energy through nutrients, through carbs, through your fats, through your proteins to sustain the lifestyle that you have currently been maintaining. And so your body will hold on to some stored fats. And then you'll start to notice that your weight loss will become less and less until it completely comes to a stop. If you've come to a point where you've stopped losing weight altogether, you feel like you're not losing inches, then what I would recommend is reassessing your calorie deficit and what you have going for you right now, and then making a small tweak to that, adding a couple hundred calories to that, because eventually what will happen is you need to eat more food to continue to burn fat. All right, now the second thing we're going to take a look at is eating in excess, right? So there's 2 things that can happen when it comes to eating, which one we've already discussed, which isn't eating enough. The other then is going to be the opposite problem, in which you're eating too much. And so you can't look at just eating healthy foods and say, I don't understand what's happened, I'm eating healthy foods and for some reason it's not working. Because you'll hear me say this frequently, at the end of the day, it's still going to be about the number of calories coming in versus the number of calories going out. And in order to lose body fat, in order to start losing some weight, you have to be consuming less than what you're burning. And it's very easily and very possible that you are currently eating more calories, whether it be in healthy foods or not, than you're burning off. And so you need to make an adjustment there, and you really need to be honest with yourself if you're trying to track your calories about the number of calories that you're tracking for yourself. Because if you're looking at your numbers and you say, well, Ramon, I am eating less calories than what I'm burning off throughout the day, but I'm still not losing weight, I would challenge you to really focus on counting everything if you really feel like that's the case, and then take a look at where you end up. What you're probably going to find is that you're eating more calories throughout the day than you initially thought. So eating the right foods, great step, but you still got to maintain that you eat less food and less calories than you burn off throughout the day. The third thing we're going to take a look at is the amount of water you're drinking. So I think this is often overlooked. Even for myself, I do not like to drink water. But it is very, very important that your body is hydrated in order for you to continue on a weight loss journey. There's a couple things that water is going to do for you. If you drink 8 to 16 ounces of water before you've ever consumed any food, it is going to jumpstart your metabolism. And that's exactly what you want to do, because as soon as your metabolism kicks in and it starts burning off calories, the sooner throughout your day you are going to be able to get into a calorie deficit, right? Which is what you want to maintain throughout the day. So that's one thing. The other thing it's going to do is it's going to help you curb your appetite a little bit. So it's going to make you feel satiated or full throughout the day. So there's a good chance at some point during the day, maybe you're going to feel like you want a snack, you feel hungry but you don't know why or what for. Drink a glass of water or two, and then reassess and see how you feel after that. More than likely, your hunger cue is actually just a thirsty cue, and drinking that water will take care of that. So water really plays a big role in helping you maintain and continue weight loss, because it's going to keep you from wanting to snack throughout the day if you try to fill those fake hunger cues with some water. Fourth thing that we're going to take a look at is the amount of fiber that you're getting in through your food. Now, you hear a lot of people talk about your fats and your carbs and your protein because everybody thinks that those are the three most important things, right? Oftentimes we overlook some of our micronutrients and we overlook things like fiber. Now, fiber is going to help you feel full, kind of like water, but it's going to also come through food. And so if you're eating enough fiber with your regular meals, those cravings in between meals are going to be less. And if you do have a small craving, then you can go to the water. So the water and the fibers, they can kind of go together to really help you stay focused and to kind of keep you from, going down the wrong path of snacking whenever you feel like you might be hungry. Focus on your fiber, focus on your water, water in between meals, water with your meals, fiber with your meals as well. Another big thing to focus on, obviously, is going to be consistency. And again, we touched on this last time, focusing on being consistent, not perfect. That's going to be relatable to your nutrition, but now also with your workout habits. The more consistent that you can be with the workout schedule, the more regular it becomes and the more it feels like part of your everyday life. Instead of feeling like, oh, I'm supposed to go work out at this time, but we'll start to get rid of those buts and you'll say, it's Tuesday, on Tuesdays I work out at 2 o'clock, let me make sure I'm ready to go to the gym, get it done. And it's like an appointment for yourself, right? So start putting that in your calendar, mark it in, just like you would do for a lunch at your job. Schedule it for yourself, and that will make sure that every day, every week, every month, you get into that good routine, and your body will also learn that routine. And then when it comes to nutrition, again, be consistent, but not perfect, and really place an emphasis on eating the right foods throughout the day. And if you happen to have a snack that's not the most nutritious, it's not the healthiest option, so be it. But consistency comes with getting right back on track, remembering what your goals are, and continuing back down that path, not skewing to the left and having a donut and then just continuing the rest of the day because you feel like you've ruined the whole day with one bad snack. One bad snack is not going to break your day. A couple bad snacks are not going to take your week. So as long as you stay consistent, that makes those little hiccups that much more of a small impact. Alright guys, so one of the last things that we'll take a look at in this video is just being honest with yourself, right? It's very, very important, whether it's your workouts, it's your nutrition, it's your sleep habits, it's your water intake. You have to really sit down, be honest with yourself, and take a look at what you're doing performance-wise in those areas to justify not being happy with the results that you are or are not getting. When it comes to calories and tracking macros and things like that, if you're new to your weight loss journey and you've just kind of plateaued a little bit, I wouldn't recommend going crazy over the numbers, right? I would still recommend making small changes, but make small trackable changes, okay? So make yourself a little like calendar where you have your Monday through Sunday, and mark out your rest days so that you don't count those, and then keep track of your workouts throughout the week, right? So when Saturday comes or Sunday comes, you can look back at the schedule and you can say, okay, I got my 4 scheduled workouts in for myself this week, and I did 3 days of cardio. This was a good week for me. But if you don't do something like that and you think about it and you're like, well, did I work out on Monday or not? I don't remember. At the end of the week, by the time you've got there, you might have done 2 workouts, you might have done 4 workouts. At least give yourself something that you can track with, but it doesn't have to be very specific. Just a simple check mark for I did and X for I didn't. When it comes to nutrition, calorie counting for beginners, macro counting for beginners, I would stay away. Just make those small changes and again, make them trackable, right? So at the beginning of your weight loss journey, it's gonna be, instead of eating 4 pieces of pizza, eating 2. Instead of eating a whole large bowl from Chipotle, eat half and then eat the other half later, right? So we're not going down the road of telling you what not to eat, we're just asking you to eat less. So again, that's trackable. You can keep track of what you're eating during those meals. Now for those of you that are a little more advanced and you've come a little bit of a ways in your weight loss journey and you are tracking calories, you have to be honest with yourself and how many of those calories you're truly tracking. Are you actually tracking everything? Do you know for sure that you're 300 to 500 calories in a deficit every day? Because if you don't know for sure, then you can't look at the program and say, well, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm not losing weight, because that's not true, right? And being off by a couple hundred calories on one day will not make that big of a difference. But if you do that for a whole week, at the end of it, you're 1,400 calories off. And that's quite a bit. So you really have to be honest with the amount of calories that you track to make sure that you do track everything. And maybe one day you won't be proud of what you ate and those calories are gonna look out of control, but that's okay, because at least you're aware of that and now you were honest about it and you can make some adjustments and fix it. Same thing with water intake, same thing with your sleep schedule. Water intake, track it. Keep track of how many ounces you're drinking throughout the day to make sure you get enough. When it comes to sleep, use a tracker. Like I mentioned in the last video, I use Whoop to track mine. Give me how much sleep I get each night. It also tells me the quality of the sleep that I get each night. It lets me know what my recovery number is, which also then tells me how strenuous of a workout that I'm prepared for that day based on the amount of rest I got. If you've got an Apple Watch, it will track your sleep. At the very minimum, if you don't have a tracker, start keeping track of what time you get into bed, and then when you wake up in the morning, mark that off. And I would highly recommend for those of you that have a hard time falling asleep when you lay down, to make sure you don't have a TV on and to make sure it's dark. Because light and TV, very distracting. Also the cell phone. Plug your cell phone in, put it on your nightstand and leave it. Because if you get on TikTok or Twitter, you end up down this dark rabbit hole, and before you know it, you've been laying in bed for an hour and you haven't tried to go to sleep. So that's a long-winded answer for the last thing that I would like to look at. But like I said, overall, you just have to be truthful to yourself, truthful to the process, and then you can set the next goal and give yourself something to track for X amount of days, and then you can crush it again, right? So that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Short and sweet, just some really simple things to take a look at if you're starting to struggle with weight loss, some things that typically are the reasons why you plateau and no longer lose the weight. All right, please leave a comment below. If you want to see more videos like this, leave a comment down below. If you have questions on anything fitness nutrition related, I'm always happy to help you guys out. I appreciate the love, appreciate the support. Still on my road to my first 100 subscribers. We're getting closer and closer every day. So make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're new. If you're not new, you haven't hit the button, you know what to do. Hit that like button as well. Turn your notifications on, guys, so you don't miss a video. And I will catch you at the next one. Peace.